What's up, YouTube? It's SkiDaBird. I'm going to be showing off a lovely little website called skimap.org. I'm going to be doing that by actually going over some places that I'm pretty familiar with. This will be a multi-part series. I think we're going to start with where I learned to ski, probably the four places I skied in Michigan. So I'll go ahead and load that up. And right there. Okay. So this is the place where I learned how to ski. It's called Otsego Club. It's a small little private area. My grandparents had a membership so we could get tickets there. You start here. It's one of those upside down ones where you start at the top. Now remember, this is Michigan. This chairlift right here, the number 2. There's a tower at the bottom, a tower at the top, and 2 in the middle. It's 4 towers long. It's very short. Whole map's not in perspective. Chair 3, 4, and 5 are a little longer. One's moderately long as well. But chair 2 very short. I would have learned on the south toe and the now defunct north toe. I guess they took care of it. No, there wasn't ever a terrain park there when I was there. They didn't really have one, period. So nothing back here, but anyway. I learned out here on the toes and on the milk run. We would take the number 2 chair because number 1 was really slow. But anyway, what you would do at the start of the day, you would just ski down, and we would just usually take a lap on ballroom right here. And I'm going to say this for a minute. Excuse me. I will call this the number 1. I'll call this chair the ballroom. I'll call this chair the perch. This one the Murphys, and this one the back. So, sorry about my slang. We just take a lap on the ballroom, and then we'd go up the perch. And my grandmother could spend all day skiing on the perch, so we would ski a run there. We would be there around Christmas, and their snowmaking wasn't the best. So McLeod's Folly and Graveyard were never open. Those are fun runs. I went out there. It was a President's Day. I really quite enjoyed myself. We'd hit a few on perch, and then we'd just ski down Murphy's and take what Brewski, I guess. We just headed the back. Because Allen's Alley, nice. The Masters was really nice, and Waterfall was my favorite trail there. So the back was a good place to be. Guess they've gotten rid of New Home Run as well. You would take this big, long, flat cat track back and try to make it all over there. Or you would bomb Beanies. Or the easiest thing to do is just to cut right across here and take the number 4 up. That's the really easy thing to do. So that's where I learned to ski. So the main area that I would have skied at when in Michigan was Boyne Mountain. So Boyne Mountain, I think it's the biggest place in Michigan. It's got about 500 vertical feet. I don't remember how big it is. I want to say 500 acres, but I could be wrong about that. Anyway, let's go to a map. Alright, let's use this one right here. 2006. The one thing that's significant about Boyne Mountain, actually, is they had the first high-speed 6-pack in the United States. They got beat by one place in Canada from having it in North America. Anyway, so you park out here. I'm going to zoom this up a little bit. So this is one thing that's really good about Boyne Mountain is you park like out here, and they've got these just free, big, long like shuttles, and you just kind of get on real quick. And they drive you right up here, right by where ME is. ME is Mountain Express. I'm going to say that a lot. That's our abbreviation for it. Anyway, you get on the big 6-pack right here, the Mountain Express. You could take the double chair here if the line's bad, but in reality, let's just say there's no lines. You take the ME up. And then we would always just take, I guess it's Pearson right here. You just take a lap on Victor, really. And then head back down to either the Mountain Express or the Victor lift. Let's just say you went back to Mountain Express. These 4 blacks are on the front, Hemlock, and then the McLeods. Those are actually they're fun to bomb. You could beat the chair back down, and it's only 35 chairs for the Mountain Express. South and center are the same face, just divided by the lift. North is actually on a separate face. North Boyne was a pretty flat blue by Michigan standards. So that's that. Anyway, so you hit the Victor lap, we go back up, and then we usually, because this is what I used to do when I was a little kid, is we would come out here. And when I was there, they didn't have the Alpine when I was learning, so it was just this right here. And we would ski down the back of the Ram's Head and then through this flat, shall we say. And you'd get on this long Disciples Ridge chair. I mean, it's a medium length chair by Western standards. It's really long by their standards. And you'd have these greens out here, and then these blues actually in here, Zippy's, Mr. Mall, and then DL's is a black. Those are actually pretty fun. Devil's Dive. I bet that. If I had to liken it, I'd say it's roughly picture Bass Ackwards from below Ged 2 at Snowbird. That's a fairly well-known hill. It's about. It's almost exactly like that. And then I have memories of the moguls being face high, but I would just assume that they were 2 footers, based off of knowing me. Anyway, you head back here, and you just cut through Boyne Land, and you get back on the ME. That's really like right next to each other. I don't know what the scaling is. The other thing you can do is you can head. You don't really want to do it from ME. This is a big face. You'd get on the Victor lift, and you'd head and take Idiot's Delight down to the Meadows. That's the first quad chair in the world, actually, the old Meadows. It's gone now. They've replaced it with another fixed grip quad because it was so old, so slow. Like, you think you've been on a slow chair, you haven't been on a slow chair until you were on old Meadows. Victor wasn't much faster, but anyway, and you could do Stein's Mambo, the Meadows, Idiot's Delight. Those were pretty good. And then if it was open, it wasn't really open around Christmas time, so I didn't do it too much. You would head out to the Super Bowl out here, and FIS was. I don't remember Super Bowl because I liked FIS better, but FIS was like a triple drop. It was very cool, very fun. And they had an old double chair right here. I only ever rode it once. God, if I must have been, I don't know, 50s, 60s. It was old. Good gravy. Let's see if I can dig up something on the age of that. Anyway, so that's pretty much Boyne Mountain. Since they right kind of when I was maybe a year or two before I left, they added this, and it's an old Western double chair that's been reused. It's just very flat. It's for the cabins mostly. But anyway, if you find yourself at Boyne Mountain, my suggestion for you is stick to these 4 blacks right here off the ME. You can bomb those as much as you want. And then the Meadows chair, the best 2 places. And then if you get bored of that, Super Bowl is also good to go too. I'm going to go over the Boyne Highlands next. It's same company that owns it. It's a very similar mountain. This was the one I went to the least because it was about an hour and a half away from where my grandparents' cabin was. And there was one right next to it I'm going to go over next called Nub's Knob, and I like Nub's better. So I didn't ski the Highlands too much, but I can tell you enough about it. It's a fairly small place. You park out here somewhere. Again, they do the shuttle thing right here. You walk right through where the Camelot chair is. And this was the first thing I didn't like about Highlands. This is the main chair, the Heather Express. It's a high-speed quad right up to here. It's quite a walk actually from where you come through. You come like right where that 6 is. So you would either have to get on this Camelot chair, which is the beginner free chair, and big line, very flat. You have to kind of just cross over here. Or you'd get on this old, slow, not always open Matt Gully and take you right up to the top. Heather basically came in to replace Matt Gully because it's so old and slow. It's not actually that new and express though. It's a very old express chair. Anyway, you get on Matt Gully and then you just ski. And so this is the best area at Highlands probably if you want to lap because it's the only chair that can actually move like more than an inch pace. Chairs are all really slow at Highlands. Mountain had a few faster ones. But Olympic and K2 actually have a pretty good pitch, and the dark side is Olympic is set above K2. The dark side is dropping from Olympic down to K2. Rob Roy and Lower Montgomery, pretty nice places to be too. My favorite runs are probably the Challengers, and good gravy, that chair was slow, but you know what? You'd come right down here and hit these. Those were fun. You'd hit the Challengers once, and then I always would like to head over out here to what they call the North Face. The one problem with that is this interconnect chair must be a 10-minute at least chair. It's long, slow chair, and it probably has 200 feet of vertical. Anyway, you get up to here, and these are all really nice. My favorite was I got my grandpa to go in the gulch once when it wasn't exactly covered. Memories of that. Anyways, North Face, that was a fun area, but getting there with the interconnect chair is just so bad. And you get back down and you have to take this slow quad chair, the Amy's, which I don't really know why they have it. I guess maybe to get back from the interconnect. Because it's really got this run right here, and then this one which you can do off the Challenger, and that's it. And you take that up, and then you not really be able to get over to Heather, so you'd have to take Challenger up. So North Face was fun, but a pain to get to. Anyway, you'd hit those on Challenger, you go back up Heather, and the last really good place to be, you could head way out to South Fork and around, but you definitely want to head up to the tournaments. Tournament Pass, it's a black because what you can get to it says you just kind of cross traverse out here on the North and South tournament, and the slot is it's kind of the Midwestern equivalent of a chute. It's very narrow, but it's bound by tight trees, not rocks or anything. But these two are both open. They're steep. They're fast. It's really what's there off Valley. I would just stick to Heather and then kind of maybe go check out Challenger in the tournaments. And then if you're feeling patient, go look North Face. So my favorite place in Michigan when I skied, where was it? Would have been Nub's Knob. Love the Nub. Okay, so Nubs, let's go ahead and start with the front. Nubs is split into two maps. So you park just right there. You walk right, grab your ticket right on. So it's they've got a lot of lifts for how big it is. That's because they actually had a fair few people. You get on the green chair. I mean, you could that's the one right there. So you just get on the green chair, and that'll take you right up here. I always just like to warm up on smooth sailing. I guess I've got a turning park there now, so you would take Valley. And then the blue lift is faster than the green, so you would go up that one. On the front side, you definitely want to look at Smoky, Scarface, and Shoot, especially Scarface. That one's great. Had a double fall line coming back over right down toward the green. That was great. The yellow lift and blue are probably the best ones to take. If you're taking Smoky, do the blue. If the other two, take the yellow. Because the green chair is the longest and it's the slowest and it's going to have the biggest line. So those three real fun on the front. This area was just completely terrain parked out. We've got another one here. So I never really went over there. So that's the front. It's probably about half what they've got. This is the back right here. It's the middle area, kind of I guess Nub South and then Pintail. So this is where the front is right here. So you can just take out this blue called Snow Pro, and what you want to do is drop in right here to these blues on the brown chair. This was my favorite chair in Michigan right here probably. I don't know, maybe ME gave it competition just because it was high speed, but the Big 4.0, Gators Alley, Southern Comfort, Bayview, these are all nice Michigan pitches. Brownie was a little mogully and not covered. And so what you would do is you would take the brown, and you could either ski back over and take green up, or you could take this long, slow orange chair, and then you would get on the Ramblewood right there out to Duck Soup. That's where they switched the names around since I was there anyway. Gray lift, I guess, because black lift was packed, always just packed. So gray lift, definitely a nice new addition there. I'm sure it's great because they were lazy. They didn't paint it. That's another cool thing about Nubs. Actually, they paint the chairs. So when they say black lift, the chairs and the lift, it's all black. When they say orange, the whole thing's orange. Brown, the whole thing's brown. That was ugly. The one thing I didn't like about that. Anyway, you get on, I'm just going to say black because that's what I'm used to. And there's 8 of them, I think. Maybe the Goosebumps, I guess, is a little steeper, so it's black, but maybe it's, I don't know. There's 8 of them right here. And they're all just medium steepness, usually groomed. I guess Goosebumps probably isn't. And they're really fun. The only problem is there's a lot of people on that chair. The best fall I've ever had would have been Whitefish right there, kind of just, maybe it was Chips. It's one of these two right here off to that side of the chair. I catapulted forward, did a somersault, and just kept skiing. It was great. Best fall I've ever had. Now, I never did it, and I don't understand why you would do it. If you're looking for powder in Michigan, you want to hike the Tower Glades. You hike out from Ramblewood out here. I don't understand it. I wouldn't recommend it, but that's the best powder in Michigan, other than Bohemia, which is its own beast. So that's the first episode of this. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to check the time and do a little research on that old top-notch chair. I hope you've enjoyed. It's been SkiDaBird.